So let me tell you what's happening because there are incredible principles here. First off, she finds her friends. She's out looking for him. She's under conviction in the dream. And she finds her friends and tells them what happened and said, man, I am sick. I am head over heels in love with this man. This is what happened. And I realized I'm head over heels in love with him. Can you help me find him, please? Can you please help me find him? Now, let me make sure you understand. Here's a principle, okay? She's talking to her friends about this marriage problem that's going on. Now, let me make sure you understand a principle for marriage, okay, and in your marriage. There's very few people you need to talk to about your marriage, okay? There's very few people for the sake of your husband and for the sake of your wife. You do not need to talk to a lot of people about your marriage. Let me give you some general rules. Some general rules is never talk to someone who doesn't know Jesus about your marriage, okay? They're not going to come at it from the same perspective that you are. Well, he did this. Well, sure he did. I mean, that's all men want. I mean, if he wants to run off, let him run off, right? They're not coming at it from a servant perspective. They're coming at it from a selfish perspective. They're coming at it from what they would do, not from what the Bible says to do. So never talk with someone that's not a believer and a strong believer in Jesus Christ, number one. Number two, never talk to the opposite sex about your marriage. This is a general rule. Never talk. The only opposite sex person that you should talk to would be a pastor or a counselor, okay? You don't talk to, if you're a lady and your marriage is struggling, do not go to your office or whatever and talk to a man about your marriage. You won't believe how many people, that's where it starts. Oh, he understands me. Oh, she understands me. Sure she does. Sure he does. And she's always going to look pretty, and her breast's never going to stink, right? And you see him, and that's the way he is. No, it's not. You know, you have a need, and he's beginning to meet this need you have, and it might start out unintentionally. You never talk to the opposite sex about your marriage if it's not a pastor or a counselor, okay? Don't ever do that. And then here's a third general principle. You don't talk to your parents about your marriage problems, okay? Don't talk to your mom, because if you talk to your mom, no mama, I know this, but no mama can be, I don't care what she says, she's not objective, okay? I'm my mama's baby boy. Now, in my marriage, it's a little different. My mama loves Amy more than me, okay? And I understand that, but I still would not talk to my mama about my marriage problems, okay? And the reason is, you think, why? Mom and dad are there. Because, man, when I do that, it creates tension. Like Amy's like, man, she's thinking this about me, or she's talking to her daddy about me or mama, and it's just not a good thing. Unless your marriage is at a very crisis point that they've got to have intervention and get involved, you just don't talk to them about your marriage problem with mom and dad, because then it makes it hard in relationship between your husband and your parents and all that kind of stuff, okay? You just can't do that. So those are general rules. And so who do you talk to? And I'm just going to tell you this, you don't talk to a lot of people. You need a trusted friend that loves Jesus, and they're a trusted friend. And what I mean by trusted friend is this, a true friend. I'm not talking about someone that's going to tell you what you want to hear. That's not a true friend, okay? Someone that's going to tell you, oh, man, he did this, and they're going to say, well, I can't believe he did that. No, that's not a true friend. Or she did, can you believe she's doing that? Well, no, I mean, man, you need to show her a thing or two. No, that's not a true friend. A true friend says, man, I hate that. But let me tell you some things that I think, you were probably a little selfish here, so you brought this on, okay? You got some responsibility. That's a true trusted friend, right? So it's only a very few people that you talk to real deep stuff about, right? Specifically your marriage. This is what she does. She goes to her friends, trusted friends. You know why they're good friends? Because here's what they do. She goes to her friends that she knows she can trust. Hey, ladies, this is what happened. I need you to help me. And so what did they say? Well, let him run off. I mean, are you kidding me? He comes in early in the morning and you're asleep and he wants that at that time. Well, you let him go, right? They didn't say that. They didn't say that at all. They said, why should we help you find him? I mean, he's the love of your life. Why should we help you find him? What makes him so special? Now, folks, they knew. They didn't ask out of ignorance. They're smart. They're saying, hey, listen, you're having this problem. You rejected him. And he's run from you. Rather than saying, oh, you had every right to do that, they said, why don't you think about all the things you love about him? Because right now you're thinking of one thing that got you mad. What is it that you love about him? Wow. Now these are good friends.